Hello there. I have just gone through an hour and a half of hell just to bring you guys this video because holy frick did I have some panicking moments here trying to give you this video. But what is so special about this video? What is so special about this video that has made me spend an hour and a half going through pain? This is pain as birthing children. What made me do that? Well, you see, it doesn't seem like anything's different. You got the same mic. I said I would be doing something different in the next video I would be doing. So what is it? What is it? What is it exactly? Oh, it's a mouse. Guys, it's a mouse. It's a So yeah, here we are on my actual laptop. That's right. I got a laptop and I got OBS and we've done it, boys. We are no longer just creating YouTube videos on an old phone. We are on an actual laptop. We're like an actual YouTuber now. But yeah, so I thought, hey, my Brony birthday was coming up, July 13th, and usually the past 2 years I've been a Brony. For my Brony anniversary, I like to do like a nice little reaction video for you guys to, kind of celebrate the Brony birthday. Unfortunately, it is not July 13th, it is actually July 15th, but only by 15 minutes. It is 12:15 a.m., so I'm gonna still count it as July 14th. Screw time. Heck you, Time Lord. But, yeah, what was I saying? Okay. So, I thought to make this Brony anniversary video special, we'll introduce the new season of Mr. MLP. The new era, the new beginning. And if you haven't told the new era, it's still the same Mr. MLP. If you haven't if you haven't figured it out by the top left corner of your screen, yes, it does say The Brony Chronicles, a documentary on My Little Pony and Bronies, Part 1. Saberspark uploaded this one, so Saberstark? I'm so sorry. Saberspark, if you somehow see this video, and if you saw this video because, like, the copyright system on YouTube, hello there, did not expect to see you here. Yeah, you probably won't comment on this video. You definitely won't if you did see it, but I exist. I am a person. I watch your content. Your content's pretty cool. But yeah, yep. This was uploaded 11 years ago. Woo! I had to click, and it worked.
The word fandom means a celebration and camaraderie.
Fandom.
Individuals who share a similar interest. Or simply put,
It's so big!
Die-hard fans.
The screen is so big!
Can range from all sorts of media. Doctor Who, Pokemon, Star Wars, Harry Potter.
Doctor Who, don't we know?
On and on. Some of these titles are extremely popular and are world-renowned. Others, however, are not as fortunate and are rejected because of their strange behavior. In fall of 2010, a group such as this emerged, born from the internet. These fans burned a trail.
Born from the dark depths of 4chan.
They go by the name of Bronies. Older male fans of the show, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. These people might sound strange, and that's because, well, they are strange. Nothing like this.
Guys, we're strange. You know me. I'm like the strangest person you'll ever meet. So, like, yes. Also, this is going to be the longest video I'm ever going to record for this channel. Or, well, the first longest video. So far, this is going to be the longest video ever on the channel.
Or
so,
at least on this level, it confuses social logic and throws mainstream society for a loop. Men are held to a high standard. And to see them enjoying something so feminine and childish,
I thought the Brony picture said something about burgers there for a second.
Geek culture, appearances can be deceiving. The rabbit trail goes deeper than you think. We're going to explore
That's not Failboat.
From the origins to the community, to the social science, and through dozens of interviews with My Little Pony fans. No detail will be spared as we explore the series of events that have led up to the Brony fandom that exists today. A group of fans who inadvertently challenge established social norms. This is their journey. This is their story.
This is our journey, guys. We're oh my, it's Star Wars. I feel like my brain cells are dying. Turn that down a little bit, just in case. I'm still gonna have a lot of struggle getting used to how audio works for OBS. Because this is my first video, like actual video on OBS. Look, we're going. Oh! Guys, let's jam, let's jam, let's jam! We're jamming to a new era, boys! And I got no hacking audio delay, let's go! Wow! I can actually snap on beat! Hey! Okay, I'll stop snapping for you guys. Yeah. I don't have anything to contribute to the song. Woo! Yeah. So I'll just pick a beat to the song. That actually might not even been on beat, but we're okay. We're good. Hello there, Twilight Sparkle. It seems you are bleeding dots. Colorful dots. And now they're all floating to the sky. That's really weird, Twilight. You should probably get that checked out. I wonder which dot I am in the grand scheme of the universe. Probably the indigo one.
It's all the way back to the early 1920s. Many decades.
1920s?
Franchise even existed. A small company at the time that went by the name of Hassenfield Brothers.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna go back to like 1980s to like the original Gen 1 show, but we're learning some stuff today. Also, let's turn back the volume up again.
Manufactured simple pencil cases and school supplies. 30 years later, the business switched up its production and created its first unique toy, Mr. Potato Head. It was a smash hit and opened the door for the budding enterprise,
Mr. Potato Head's pretty cool.
Which eventually changed its name to Hasbro.
Oh, Hasbro. That's why we're in the 1920s. Heckin' Hasbro.
As a matter of fact,
what the frick, Hasbro?
That coined the phrase action figure in order to toughen up its doll-like image and look more appealing to boys. It was a very effective strategy. As Hasbro,
do you guys have a G.I. Joe? I think I had a G.I. Joe. I'm actually not sure though.
In the 1980s,
I think I had a toy that I called G.I. Joe, but I don't know if it was actually G.I. Joe.
Remain popular to this day. Transformers and My Little Pony.
Whoa, that's the thing!
And became very successful with their targeted audiences. Young boys would play with their Optimus Prime toys, while little girls would brush the manes of their plastic ponies. That was the norm. However...
Listen, I was playing with my, like, Connect 4 token thingies. Yeah, you guys remember Connect 4? Of course you know Connect 4. You know, like those little, like... Yeah, like the things you actually play... You know what I'm talking about. Why am I explaining this? You know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not gonna lie, I was lying just now when I said that I used to play with the Connect 4 tokens, because I did not used to play with the Connect 4 tokens at all. I just wanted to say something that I used to play with, but I couldn't think of anything. So yeah, I'm a filthy liar. Let's hear it for filthy liars. Woo!
This wouldn't always be the case for My Little Pony.
I'm gonna say woo a lot this
thanks
video.
to a crazy series of events, ended up with a sizable demographic that no one expected. Yet this didn't happen until almost 30 years after the creation of MLP. For it was then, in the early 1980s, where My Little Pony officially began. Dude,
G1 honestly not that good. Well, it's better than G3, I would say. I don't know, actually. But G1 was just... G1 is hard to get through for me. I struggle with that. Oh my gosh! There's gonna be a lot of bangers in this video, isn't there?
The development of the franchise is all due to the initial idea and toy designs of Bonnie Zacharel, the original creator of My Little Pony. Her inspiration for
Yeah.
the series stems all the way back to her childhood, when she was just a little girl living in Japan. Her father was an army veterinarian who worked at a compound for animals. She spent a lot of her days there with a pony.
Because I think
And over
that's a
time, grew
horse.
close to it. The family eventually had to move away from Japan, and they were unable to take Bonnie's pet with them. She begged her father for another pony at their new home.
By the way, if the mic quality ever gets messed up during this video, please point it out in the comments. Please, somebody tell me in the comments, because I will be pissed either way. I will be pissed if the mic quality gets stupid. I will riot. You will see me on the streets going up and down protesting for better mic quality. I don't know.
But he persuaded her otherwise. The amount of work required for its upkeep would cut into every facet of Bonnie's life, such as having a job, school, and friends. She took her dad's advice, though she never gave up on the dream of one day having her own pony. Years later, this sparked an idea. Bonnie thought that if she couldn't have a real pony, then why not have the next best thing? A toy pony.
A fictional
She drew up
pony.
designs
Oh,
for the
toy pony.
concept and dubbed it My Pretty Pony. At first, the
My
toys were
Pretty
bulky
Pony?
and had bland colors.
Pretty
Again,
pony?
Bonnie
Ew.
invented this, because that made the toys more accurate to actual ponies. After making some alterations that were suggested by Hasbro, the final product was complete. And the title for the franchise was changed.
You know what? You know what, Hasbro? The changes you suggest to make it more colorful and change it to My Little Pony. You know what? You know what? Good decision right there. You know, good decision actually. Won't fault you for that.
to My Little Pony. Hasbro approved.
Whoa, it's My Little Pony! Whoa!
It soon became a huge success and was extremely popular among young females everywhere.
Beautiful, magical, fantastical.
It's a chicken nugget.
There's no one else like you around.
From the beginning, MLP had a feminine tone and audience in mind. This is something that Hasbro recognized and established on. It worked for G.I. Joe and young boys in the past, and they knew that My Little Pony was going to work just as effectively on little girls in the 1980s. Different genders, different franchises. So began a marketing technique that remains strong to this very day. But Hasbro is just one of many.
Not gonna lie though, the actual show though, like the Gen 1 show, it kind of like both did appeal to young girls, but also didn't appeal to young girls. Also, let me check my recording. Why do you? I don't want to print. I'm gonna have to fix this, cause I do not want to see you. I do not want to see a stupid printing page every single time I try to pause and unpause a recording. OBS.
Companies that reinforce the idea of boys and girls sticking to their own types of toys. To be honest, these results are just a byproduct of corporations trying to market to an existing audience and what they like. This is what we call the pink-blue syndrome, and it has been highly prominent in the My Little Pony series since its creation.
I'm purple.
And is also the main reason why bronies are such an unusual phenomenon.
In orange.
Go to any toy aisle at any store. What colors jump out to you? Pink and blue, of course.
No, honestly, I think the colors, what's a color again?
And what do these colors indicate? The boy toys from the girl toys. The guys will stand around their aisle checking out Star Wars toys, Nerf
Yeah,
guns,
Star Wars, Nerf gun, Hot Wheels, let's
section, on the
go!
other hand, will be filled with Barbie dolls, Littlest Pet Shop, and My Little Pony. This is something people in modern society are used to, but rarely
Give me the My
consciously
Little
realize.
Pony stuff,
So one can
please.
see why it's odd when an older male is looking for the Rainbow Dash toy in the pink aisle.
My boy like, what do we got here? Ooh, a little Fluttershy? Okay, don't mind if I do. Ooh.
It's a violation of a social norm and sets off a red flag in our mind. We then register that individual as a deviant and assume the worst. This is the cornerstone of our case study, and it will be explained in more detail.
You don't see me.
For the time being, we'll focus on the history of the series and how it secured a social medium over the course of the next 3 decades. When it comes to My Little Pony, there are 2 different timelines, one for the toys and one for the cartoons. For this case study, we will focus on the latter. Now, I know you might be thinking that this is a tad excessive, talking about the past generations of the show. But it's actually
I disagree. I think it's even more excessive than you think it is. I'm kidding.
the opposite. For almost 30 years, My Little Pony has been catered towards younger females, and mainstream society has gotten used to that notion. We need to analyze what kind of ideas were firmly established over that time period, and how it contributed to the social norm that we are questioning today. My Little Pony, as a franchise, was created in 1981, but the actual animations didn't show up
It's
until
Twilight. It's
1984.
Applejack.
Its first appearance was a standalone TV special called Rescue at Midnight Castle. Hasbro wanted to test the waters.
Honestly,
and see how their
probably the
audience
best
would receive
episode in the show. To
Well,
be
the
honest.
feedback must have been positive, because another special showed up a year later called Escape from Katrina.
That one was just
Both
mediocre.
episodes confirmed
I
that
just
Hasbro
remember a
was
big
open to
cat,
it,
and that's
that is
it.
little girls who are infatuated by little ponies. So what better way to satisfy their demand than to make a feature-length film for the big screen? Well, Hasbro, at least you tried. The movie was a flop
That's
and
ooh
tanked
man.
in ticket sales. The critics weren't too kind either, and saw little to no redeeming value in the film. To them, it was just a glorified hour-long commercial about buying My Little Pony toys. Despite the setback at the box office, Hasbro was not deterred, and knew that they could still make...
Honestly, though, the My Little Pony movie from Gen 1, best piece of Gen 1 content you're ever gonna get. Like, you're ever gonna get. At least in my opinion. That along with the shoop dee doop, shoop shoop be doop, shoop be doop, shoop shoop be doop. Yeah, besides that, that's also peak Gen 1.
make this franchise work. In 1986, MLP reappeared on television, but this time as an actual series. It was called My Little Pony and Friends, and it was just as successful as the previous television specials. It sported the same cast, the same setting, the same everything, and little girls fell in love with it all over again. So I bet you all are thinking, this show has gotta be lame. I mean, come on! Talking.
Honestly,
pink
not that
ponies.
lame.
I bet they had tea parties and played Pretty Pretty Princess all the time.
And also drank alcohol and did lots of partying.
Am I right, fellas?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah!
Surprisingly not. Albeit the series had its moments of extreme prissiness, they had some pretty nasty monsters show up now and then to challenge the ponies. Tyrek, a demonic centaur, who wished
Yeah,
to enslave
Grogar.
all the ponies and
My
transform
boy
them
Grogar
into
from the
monsters.
thumbnail. Hey, it might be season 2 of Mr. MLP, but we can't forget about Grogar from the thumbnail.
The Schmooze, a gelatinous blob that would overwhelm the lands of Ponyville, spreading
Dude, the
malice and
Smooze was
hatred everywhere.
awesome.
There were
Everybody
even
loves the
Southerners on
Smooze.
show. Generation 1 legitimately fell
Even
under the
so-
action/fantasy
Oh, okay.
genre. It actually wasn't that rare to see the occasional boy watch the show. Regardless of its adventurous stories and settings, G1 lacked
I
no
like the
major
crab guys,
department.
actually.
Character.
Crab guys are pretty cool.
Many of the ponies of Generation 1 were flat and had generic personality traits. Out of all the characters in the show, only a handful stood out from the crowd, as the rest
Dusty.
kind of blended together, and usually acted the exact same way.
That was fun! Where ball? Baby wasn't any ball. Baby was imagination.
Imagination.
Yet this was all about to change in a drastic way. My Little Pony
I
and
was
Friends
imagination.
ended in 87, and 5 years later, the cartoon went through a transformation.
My Little
In
Ponytails.
1992, MLP returned to television
Yeah,
with a new series called
baby.
My Little Pony Tale.
That's my one right there. That is my one. Everybody give it up for My Little Ponytails. Everybody, let's clap. Let's clap. Dude, My Little Ponytails, I don't care what you say, that's a good show. My Little Ponytails is a banger show. I love My Little Ponytails. It's so good.
Along
My
with
boy
the
Teddy, I
and
still
other
remember you.
changes. Let's compare and control. Hold on a minute. Are they walking? Are they in school? Are
Yes.
those leg warmers? Wait, what? was this
Leg
released
warmers.
again? Ah.
Oh.
Okay. Now it makes much more sense. It could be worse. They could be wearing tight blue jeans and have their hair all fuzzed up. I spoke too soon. Right off the bat, you can tell that MLP was going in a very different direction compared to the last series. They switched
Yeah,
the
it's
genre
more
the
slice
show
of
from
life.
adventure and fantasy to more of a slice of life setting. But why? Well,
Discuss
it's
my
been
man
about
Teddy.
5 years since the show was on the air, and a lot of those girls who watched it before have grown up. They needed something to relate to, and Hasbro was on it.
Boys, what do we want with boys? One's a bully, one's a brute, but some I think are awfully cute. Boys.
This really was a drastic
Songs
change
also
for
aren't
the
bad.
franchise, and in two big ways. First, they narrowed their sights onto the female demographic way more than the first series. Next, they slightly altered the target of the audience's age group. I mean, let's be real here. How many little girls between the ages of 5 to 9 have relationship issues with guys? Besides their brothers picking on them? Probably none. These were stories that paralleled with the issues pre-teen girls would be going through, like school, relationships with friends, and having boy problems.
And don't forget about tea parties. Don't forget about the beer. We never forget about the beer.
Yet in its defense, what My Little Pony Tales lacked in settings and plots, it made up for in characters. Oddly enough,
True.
the show did a decent job in giving the ponies distinctive traits that set them apart from each other.
Characters
Melody
were
wanted to
bangers.
be a rock star, Patches was a goofball, and Bon Bon loved to bake and eat food. Compared to My Little
Teddy,
Pony Friends,
Teddy.
this was an improvement, though it did not save the show from its
Teddy.
cliché storylines. Despite the changes made to the series, it was not as successful as its predecessor, and came to a close
Which is a
in winter of
crime.
1992. This officially brought the first generation of My Little Pony cartoons to a close. For the next decade, the animated portion of the franchise would be on hiatus. In 2003, My Little Pony returned from the grave. It was gone for so long, it missed an entire generation. Now, the previous two series represent the first time period of My Little Pony's history, though some confuse My Little Pony Tales as the second generation.
Okay, so he puts it as Gen 1.5. See, here's the thing. Here is the thing that you'll have people who are just like, yeah, My Little Ponytails. See, that's part of Generation 1. There was no actual Generation 2 show. And then you have people who are just like, yes, see, My Little Ponytails, yes, that is actually Generation 2. And then you have here what is Generation 1.5. Is he actually going to say Generation 1.5?
Nope, there wasn't a second generation for the cartoon. Hasbro decided to hold on and reboot the animated portion of the franchise alongside the toys, which was a good idea, since the G2 toys weren't doing so well at the time. But man, it's been over a decade since we last saw the show. I wonder what changed.
Okay, so he didn't say Generation 1.5. I'm tired of it, because, like, I don't know, because I feel like it's just, like, a whole bunch of people just like, no, it's Generation 2, no, it's Generation 1, and I'm just like, well, which one actually is it? Like, somebody actually give me, like, proper sources, like, a whole bunch of evidence, like, but treat it like an essay. I want you to make a 5-minute presentation explaining to me why it is not Generation 2, and explain it to me like I am below 0 years old, please. Because I'm going to need it that way. From now on, I'm just going to call it Generation 1.5. No, I'm just going to call it My Little Ponytails. Because that's what it is. It's My Little Ponytails. Gen 3! I don't like Gen 3 that much. We still never saw Baby Scootaloo.
Apparently a lot. Generation 3, also known as G3, was somewhat of a hybrid of the previous two formulas for
Generation 3, also known as G3, aka Generation 3, which is what I just said.
MLP. They took elements from each series and combined them into a new but somewhat familiar setting for the ponies to play in. The modern city scene was traded in for a fantasy world, but this time around, there were no more goblins or witches. Instead, it was nothing but sweet and kind magical creatures. The stories focused mainly about the ponies going to parties or pretending to be princesses. Stories that, at their core, are simple and hold little interest to anyone who isn't a 3 to 7-year-old female.
Come on and dance with us. It's lots of fun. Yeah. Got your special dancing shoes on?
Bum 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 bum.
Did you look under your bed?
Hold on. Let me check under my bed real quick. Oh. Guys, I can confirm There are no dancing shoes under my bed. Yes, you're seeing the print screen again. I checked the mic again. Cause listen, I am so paranoid. Like I said, this is my first one. I don't want anything to go wrong. I kind of want to make sure it's still going.
Dude, that's creepy.
Generation 3 was direct-to-home
It is pretty creepy.
with the occasional TV special. It also had 3 different series within it. The first batch had its characters look somewhat similar to the ponies in G1, though the style looked a bit sleeker due to advancements in computer animation. Next, there were the chibi ponies. They had big heads, arms, and eyes, but had little torsos. The last part of Generation 3 was the newborn cuties. A majority of fans consider this rock bottom for the franchise. Hasbro was now just trying to push.
See, okay, that's where Baby Scootaloo is. Alright, so we're gonna have to react to that sometime. I had to find that, because I did not find that. Newborn cuties, okay.
Tiny objects on the screen for infants
That
to
looks
stare at.
absolutely
Characters were
horrid, though.
extremely
Holy
simple,
crap.
and so were the stories. The animation was minimal, and it became painfully obvious that Hasbro had clearly lost sight of any kind of creative direction the show could have possessed. I mean, Generation 1, and even a little bit of 3, had some substance to it, but Newborn Cuties was just straight up toddler fodder. It was sad to see the
This
series
looks horrible.
dissolve to this point.
Party?
Ugh.
Party, 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 party. Party, 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 party.
This looks like a bad YouTube Kids video.
It's easy to criticize a children's show and bash it for
Yeah,
not
it
having
is.
incredible stories, in-depth characters, or mind-blowing animation. G3 wasn't trying to be any of that. All it was concerned with was entertaining its young female audience just enough to convince them to go out and buy Hasbro's toys. That's about it.
Like, yeah, like, as much as I don't like Generation 3 that much, I will admit, like, it's a cute show. Like, I wouldn't call it horrible. I've said multiple times that it's just kind of just alright. Like, it's fine. It's sad, but it's fine. I'm not crying, but it's fine. I'm not crying.
Expected anything else? Well, you're going to be let down. After 3 decades, it was quite clear what My Little Pony
I
had
do like
become
the style,
and who it
though,
was
Gen
for.
3. Like the art
There's a
style.
stigma that follows female entertainment, and that is girly equals lame. If it ain't blue and packing 50 caliber sniper rounds with armor penetrating capabilities, then what respect
Hell
did we
yeah,
have
brother.
anything to do with it? You can keep your dolls to yourself. This part of the industry is mostly looked down upon, and it's that kind of thinking that creates these stereotypes in the first place. Because there's prejudice against girl entertainment, it has suffered in quality, and rarely has anything redeeming for its viewers to take away. Just the same old Pink Princess story over and over again. But
And
this isn't
Pinkie
necessarily an
Pie.
absolute, and one company proves that on a colossal scale: Disney. Pick a movie, any movie. The Little Mermaid, Mulan,
Well,
Beauty and the Beast,
not
Aladdin,
anymore.
The Lion King. Each one of these flicks are loved by people from every walk in life, regardless of age or gender. Walt said it best himself, and I quote, "You're dead if you aim only for kids. Adults are only kids grown up anyway."
Good quote, honestly. Banger
These
quote.
movies
I'm
don't have to be
an
for
adult, and hey,
everyone,
I'm
because they were
still
well
just a
made.
grown-up kid.
Quality doesn't belong to a single demographic. If people have the passion, drive, and vision to create, then that final product will show it, regardless if it's pink or blue. This is the cause of our current situation. For almost 30 years, we looked at My Little Pony as a show just for little girls, and nothing more. That was the impression we were given, and thoroughly believed. But in 2010, all of our assumptions were about to be put to the test. Following a 2-year hiatus from G3,
Friendship is my
a surprise that no one expected.
So I got a little crazy
The
there.
franchise is about to go through its greatest change yet.
You know, I can't wait to actually rewatch the show. Okay, a little bit of a side tangent here. Well, technically not a tangent. What even is a tangent? So, usually on July 13th, my Brony birthday, I decide to start rewatching the show, and I end up watching like half the season because I spend the whole day just watching MLP stuff and only consuming MLP stuff. You know, like the comics. I can actually do videos on the comics now. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I start rewatching show. watch a whole bunch of MLP stuff. It's really cool. It's really fun. I really like it. Unfortunately, though, this July 13th, I did not get to do that. Which, the thing I did at July 13th, though, it was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. Like, I'm not complaining what I ended up doing on July 13th, but so like tomorrow, that's gonna be my MLP day. I'm gonna start rewatching the show. So if they show clips of the show, of the first episode, I'm gonna be very mad because I'm gonna be watching that tomorrow. You know, you know it's bad luck to see a clip of MLP right before you're gonna start watching it. It's bad luck. Tasty dot. Ooh, oh, he's eating the dots. Oh my gosh, it's getting bigger. Got another musical portion. Hey, it's the Fausticorn. Hello, Fausticorn. How's it going? How you doing?
Hasbro teamed up with Discovery
Yeah,
Communications to create a new channel to replace Discovery Kids. Between the two, they pulled their resources. And the final product was the Hub.
The Hub is fun. I never watched the Hub, but I've seen some of the promos and I'm just like, ooh, this looks so much fun.
Such as Transformers, Strawberry Shortcake, and Pound Puppies were featured in
Strawberry Shortcake. So that was on the Hub network, huh? I did watch a little bit of Strawberry Shortcake, I believe.
You guessed it, My Little Pony. Now came the fun part of figuring out who would take charge of this new generation of the series. And let me tell you, they struck gold with their decision. It just so happened around that time that Lauren Faust, the future creative head of Generation 4, was on the hunt to get her own show off the ground. So she decided to stop by Hasbro on the Hub to pitch her idea. Milky Way.
Kind of looks like a...
Unfortunately, it wasn't.
It looks a little bit like Applejack, but like not Applejack at all, in like Galaxy themed. You know, the Equestria Girls version of Applejack. Like, am I the only one who sees it?
Wasn't picked up by the network, yet she was given another offer. Lisa Lick, who was the Hasbro representative speaking to Lauren at the time, knew that they were in need of a person to take charge of the new generation of My Little Pony, and to pass up on Lauren would have been extremely foolish. I mean, have you seen this woman's track record? She was a driving force behind some incredibly well-made shows, but the two that speak loudest of her talent would have to be Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Two banger shows, nice.
Think that she came up with both of these cartoons on her own, but let's give credit where credit is due. It was actually her husband, Craig McCracken, who thought up of the ideas for the two shows. Nevertheless, Lauren played a huge role in the success for Fosters and Powerpuff Girls alike. She has a knack for storytelling and a passion for creating quality entertainment. So when Lisa pulled out some of the old Generation 3 movies and asked Lauren if she could fix it, well, that's like asking a brain surgeon to put a band-aid on a scraped knee. But there's more of a reason for Lauren to say yes than to simply claim the spot of creative steward. As a child, she grew up...
Dude, like, going from clips to Gen 3 to Gen 4, it's like, my eyes... burning retinas to like, oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Grew up with the franchise and was no stranger to Generation 1. Lauren has mentioned during interviews and panels that she would imagine her own scenarios for the ponies to go on. Adventures that would bring the characters to life and give them more personality. Needless to say, she held on to those memories, and now it was her chance to bring both her childhood dreams and My Little Pony back to life. Lauren said yes to the offer and went straight to work. When it comes to creating a show, the first step is the pitch Bible. It's basically a summarized version of what the series would look and feel like. Elements, such as the setting, animation, and storytelling, are established in a rough cut and then presented for Hasbro to see. With the budget that Lauren was given for the pitch Bible, she hired two colleagues to help her with the early stages of the project, Martin Angelo Bahir and Paul Rudish. Martin drew some of the initial background concepts. Paul helped with conceptualization and art development. In fact, it was Paul who drew the sketches that inspired the idea of Pegasi controlling the weather.
Let's go, Paul.
Did art for the pitch, but it was Lauren who came up with the character designs for the main cast, and also the initial storyline for the show. Over time, the team established all the basics the show would need. Location, characters, world dynamics, all were in order.
Chicken nugget. I have this weird thing with chicken nuggets just recently. I've been saying chicken nugget a lot. I think I'm addicted. Somebody help. Oh, I moved the microphone. Which is still my phone, by the way.
Now came the critical step of finding a studio to create the series. At this point, the pitch Bible was approved by Hasbro, and now Lauren had to decide on a production studio for My Little Pony. After interviewing several candidates, Hasbro suggested Studio B of Vancouver, Canada, which is currently known as DHX. Lauren liked what she saw and took notice of the illustrators and their ability to draw fluid.
See, what show is this on screen right now? I've definitely seen it before.
So too. DHX has had plenty of practice with their previous shows, such as Puka and Martha Speaks. If picked, it would be
Martha Speaks, that's what it is.
Storyboards and structure for each episode of the series. The studio pitched their services, but only under the condition that Jason Thiessen would be the supervising director. Lauren agreed and went to work with Jason and co-director James Woody Wooten as they put together a 2-minute animated short of what the show would look like. The animation impressed Hasbro, and they gave the full green light for the series to be produced by DHX.
Whoa, really? I didn't know that.
At her command.
I didn't know the show got produced.
Bright, but she still needed a few more positions filled before the entire team was complete. In LA, Lauren and the story editor for the staff, Robert Zeddy, worked together with the writing crew to start the script process for the show. Lauren handpicked her writing portion of the team, most of whom she worked with in the past on shows like Powerpuff Girls and Fosters. Such writers included Cindy Morrow, Megan McCarthy, Emmy Larson, and Amy Keaton-Rogers. The ideas for each episode were created by Lauren and Rob, and then they issued
those names very well
to expand the story on. Throughout the entire phase, Lauren overlooked the writing process with Rob and made tweaks here and there, yet Hasbro held the final mark of approval for the scripts. It's worth mentioning that the show had to follow educational levels because of its target audience. Trying to make a plot entertaining.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of fair. I kind of like the more. Say what you want about the letters. I actually kind of like the letters. See, the letters are like, the letters feel nostalgic. The letters feel nice and warm and tasty, I guess. Sure, let's go with that. But I kind of like the more moral-driven episodes. Honestly, I kind of like it when like any cartoon goes for like moral-driven type of episode. Like, you know, they follow a theme. Like they actually want to say something. You know, to me, it gets me more engaged a little bit. But it still depends on like how you write, how you present the development of the moral, you know. That's just me.
Without coming across as predictable or generic can be difficult. Yet these storytellers were some of the best in the business. They overcame these obstacles and were able to have their cake and eat it. Another outstanding and very popular aspect of the show is music.
Music!
And we have three
yes!
gentlemen to thank for that.
I can't listen to
Daniel
this right
Ingram,
now.
William Anderson, and Stephen Andrews. Every so often, a writer will want a song in an episode. They will write out some rough lyrics and then pass along to Daniel and Stephen to expand and improve on. The lyrical portion of the job.
See, I'm being illegal right now because I have this rule where I'm not allowed to listen to any official MLP songs until June 13th, that's when I stop listening to all official MLP music. And then July 13th, when I start watching the show, every single time the song shows up in the actual show, like I actually watch it again for the first time, that's when I can start listening to that song again. So say, for instance, I watched the season 2 episode where the Smile song shows up, I can now listen to the Smile song again, you know, outside of watching it from the show, from the actual episode. So I'm breaking my rules right now. I hope you guys are happy.
He is the one who fine-tunes the words for flow. Stefan then provides the orchestration that goes along with the lyrics of the song. The two are a team, and together they have churned up some amazing pieces of work.
Hey, buddy.
That's the gap.
Okay, we're
He
good.
provides the original background score
I'm
for
sorry.
the show, which
No
ranges
music.
from casual and calm melodies to heavy rock and roll.
Is this a score? I think this is the score. Yeah, this is the score. I count Hurricane Fluttershy.
This This is a part of the cartoon that never had to truly exist, or at least be well done. But Lauren wanted this generation to be more than just a glorified commercial to sell toys. All of these songs are an indication of a team who's willing to go above and beyond the call of duty to make a quality show. And the numbers from YouTube prove that. Winter Wrap-Up, a song that was about the ponies cleaning up their town to make it spring. Over a million. Smile Song. Pinkie Pie serenades us with her voice. And she sings about her love of smiling and bringing cheer to the lives of those around her. Views on YouTube, over 3 million. This Day Aria. The wedding of Princess Kate and the evil Queen Christmas. Both belt out some vocals and share with the audience their true feelings for Shining Light.
Banger songs.
Views on YouTube, over 14 million.
Holy
If that
crap.
isn't a sign of a team
That's
that
like
does the job
14
well,
million
then I don't know
people.
what is. It got to the point in production where voice actors were needed for the characters of the show. And Lauren wasn't just about to throw any willy-nilly person into a role. She wanted heart. She wanted charisma. She wanted people who can bring a character to life. And that is exactly what she got. The first character on the roster was Twilight Sparkle. She is...
They're strong!
was a unicorn who was sent to Ponyville by Princess Celestia in order to learn more about friendship. Twilight is well organized and intelligent. Pretty much a bookworm.
This is the first story in the series. I own all of them.
And is one of the best. when it comes to
I
magic.
own all the Diary of Wimpy Kid books.
She's also quite...
That was a straight up lie. I completely forgot that other books came out after I stopped buying Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. I do own all the books from a series of unfortunate events. There's that.
quite the worrywart, as her anxiety has gotten the best of her on more than one occasion. Heck, there are times when she's gone full-blown insane.
Hi, girls. Oh, hi, Twilight. How's it going? Great. Just great.
A character like this would require the voice of someone who is equally as crazy, and that person was voice actor Tara Strong. Tara has quite the impressive resume, and has been in shows such as Teen Titans, Powerpuff Girls, Fairly Odd Parents, and many, many more. She is definitely an A-lister, and a seasoned veteran in the voice acting industry. Originally, Lauren had planned to have Tara voice a character of Pinkie Pie, but after hearing her recite some Twilight Sparkle lines, Lauren was convinced that Tara would be perfect for the role.
Dude, could you imagine Tara voicing Pinkie Pie? Like, that's weird to think about.
Next was the character of Rarity. At first glance, one would
Our
think
beautiful
that this is
Rarity.
a typical diva unicorn, the foo-foo two-dimensional fashionista who had little to no traits beyond looking beautiful among her friends. Well, you're wrong.
Take that, you ruffian!
Believe it or not, Rarity has some depth to her.
Are we gonna forget about Rarity killing Steve in literally every version of the show, both on a bridge series and the actual show?
It doesn't sound very clean.
But this won't stop her from getting her hooves dirty if the situation calls for it.
Fighting's not really my thing. I'm more into fashion. But I'll rip you to pieces if you touch one scale on his cute little head!
This is a gal who
I'll
understands
rip
the
you into
importance of
Lego
generosity and
pieces.
Putting loved ones first. Refined but sincere, there is more to this pony than meets the eye. And it was voice actor Tabitha St. Germain who provided the special spark that this character required. Tabitha has been involved in voice acting since 1985 and has
Whoa.
appeared in a ton of cartoons. Seriously, the list is huge.
Sonic, she was in Sonic Underground.
Oh, and by the way,
Captain Flamingo. Oh, wait, she voiced Minty? Oh my god. She voiced Minty. Oh my god. She voiced Minty. Oh my god. She voiced Minty. I didn't know that. How did I not notice that? My world is crumbling.
she also voiced a few of the ponies from Generation 3.
Awkward.
The next two characters are as different as day and night. One is shy and timid, while the other is loud and outgoing. Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie. Fluttershy is a Pegasus with a love for her friends and animals.
Don't get me started on the fauna. There's loons and two
Bird!
bitters.
Bird!
So am I.
Bird!
She is sweet and has a soft voice.
It's called the Alicorn Amulet, and whoever wears it is blessed with untold.
Hey, every pony look! Has a picture of Trixie's necklace.
And tries to spread kindness to everyone around her. But don't get on her bad side. She can have quite the surprising temper if you put her in a grumpy mood.
I said...
Pinkie Pie's the opposite. She prefers
You're
to be
going
out
to
and about,
love
and
me.
Other ponies laugh and smile through her quirky but funny
Welcome,
antics.
welcome,
I
welcome.
would never leave home without my party cannon.
Say what you want about Pinkie Pie. Season 1 to Season 2, early Pinkie Pie was so much better than later Pinkie Pie.
Yeah, she can be overbearing at times, but it's all in good fun. Unless you don't like her jokes, and then she goes psycho.
No, you're not understanding me. I want you to confess.
Confess?
Confess.
Despite the contrast
Confess.
in character, Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie are both voiced by the same person, Miss Andrea Libman. She has been in the VA business since she was a young child. Some of her earlier shows include Dragon Ball, Dragon Tales, Reboot, and Madeline.
Dragon
Oh,
Tales,
guess what?
Dragon Tales.
She
It's
too was a
almost
voice
time for
for
Dragon
Generation
Tales.
3.
Oh, my.
I feel a trend coming on. The last two main characters on the show are
I feel a
Applejack and
sneeze
Rainbow Dash,
coming on.
two ponies who have an appreciation for roughhousing, athletics, and competition. Applejack works at her family farm, planting and harvesting apples for the hungry mouths of Ponyville. She's diligent, caring, basically the big sister of the group, who tends to keep a level head during high-strung situations.
Hold on! I'm a-coming!
She has been known, however, to overexert herself and turn down
Moments
help because of a
passed.
sense
I
of
was gonna say
pride.
something, but
Are you
moment
saying
passed.
my mouth is making promises my legs can't keep?
Yep. Applejack would rather take on a problem all on her own than ask for help from her friends.
How many times do I gotta say it? I don't need no help from no pony!
Rainbow Dash.
See, I was gonna say something there, but, moments
She's
passed.
brash, a little reckless, but has a good heart.
Sorry, new trick.
She will stay loyal to her friends no matter the situation.
That was awesome.
Awesome? My friends could have been smashed.
Wow,
to
Season
pieces.
4.
And rise to any challenge.
I often forget how,
Dragons,
like,
manticores.
early
Report a true
2010s
opponent.
Season 4 was.
Never.
Like, Season 4 was, like, 2014, 2013, 2014. Like, I often forget that. Like, when I think Season 4, I think, like, after 2015.
Mind. Just like Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy, both Applejack and
Ostrich.
Rainbow Dash are voiced by the same actor, Ashley Ball. Unlike the other VAs mentioned before, Ashley's relatively new to the industry, but she has had her own fair share of parts to play. Johnny Test, Strawberry Shortcake, and of course My Little Pony. Also, it's worth mentioning that she has her own band called Hey Ocean, so she isn't just a voice actor, but a singer.
Dude, I listened to a grand total of one of Hey Ocean's songs. And I got it, actually, from a Brony Tale, which is another kind of Brony documentary that I watched on the channel. Fortunately, since it was kind of copyrighted, not many people saw it. Only like 4 people clicked on the video, so I clicked on the 2 videos. But no, a Brony Tale, absolutely go check out a Brony Tale. I love a Brony Tale. At least from what I remember. I was having a really good time with that one. That was a good one.
Here too. That is it for the main pony cast, but we cannot forget to mention Twilight's faithful assistant, Spike the Dragon.
I'm a dragon.
Spike lives with Twilight at the library.
And
does
I
chores.
am an
Cleaning, cooking,
alien
delivery.
human.
He's basically a butler. A butler with a bedtime.
Because I can just stay up all night and finish.
But he's more than just a servant. Twilight and Spike share a brother and sister relationship. She watches out for him, and he watches out for her.
Snap out of it!
He can be sarcastic at times and a bit full of himself too.
That is why
A bit
you are my number one
mischievous and
assistant.
evil.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
But he's an overall nice guy who truly cares for his pony family. Despite being a dude, Spike is actually voiced by a woman. That would be the talented Kathy Westluck. She has been voice acting since 1986 and has been involved in over 100 shows. Some of the more
Wow.
notable ones include Black Lagoon, Cyber 6, Dragon Ball Z, and a slew of other English dubbed animes.
Wow, I know
She's
none of
also
those
an
except for
experienced
Dragon Ball
voice
Z.
actor and director. Wait a second. She was a part of G3 as well? And My
What
Little
the
Ponytails?
frick, Nugget?
Huh. How about that?
Yo, My Little Ponytail! Hey! Let's hear it for Kathy. Let's hear it for Kathy Westluck. Let's go.
But these are just 5 of the many talented VAs who work on the show. Others include Andrew Francis, Lee Tokar, Nicole Oliver, Peter New, Brenda Critchlow,
Peter
Michelle
New.
Krieber,
John
Claire Polak,
Delancey?
and Maddie Peters.
John Delancey?
Each
Oh
one
no,
does a
John
phenomenal
Delancey.
job as they bring to life their characters in a unique and vivid way. Unlike G1 and G3, Lauren Wunschel, the fourth
Alright, mic check. Wow, we've been going on for like almost 50 minutes.
generation of My Little Pony to have a
Wow.
diverse cast. Ponies who have different personalities, strengths, and weaknesses. In return, they would have to
Oh.
lean independent.
Guys, my battery saver. Shut up. I don't want batteries. I don't want my PC to be smarter. Go away.
On each other, and that makes for fantastic storytelling, which is arguably the most appealing aspect of the show. My Little Pony was nearing completion, and the Hub's marketing team was hard at work trying to promote all their new shows for the channel's launch. MLP was popping up on billboards and posters, and eventually made its way to the internet. The chatter about the reboot for the series was relatively small, and remained that way until the show made its debut on October 10th, 2010. After months of hard work around the clock, the cartoon was complete and was ready to be shown to the world. All that time, all that effort, everything that Lauren had envisioned and hoped for was about to be put to the test. She was prepared to face the critics for better or worse, and to see where this generation of the series would take her. But what ended up happening was something no one saw coming, and that was the rise of the Brony.
And that was me standing up from my chair and then sitting back down. I like that. Wow. Hey, we're back to the dots. Man, I love the dots. Oh, and then the gum. The dots don't. Oh no, the dots are back. The dots like me again. Now they're squares. Now they're circles with things in them. Bro plus Brony equal Brony. We saw Fortune there for a second.
Reviews were popping up all over the web, and were giving their opinion.
Wait, hold on a second.
Reviews were
My Little Pony, blah blah blah. Kids TVs that won't make parents want to.
popping up
Okay.
all over the web, and were giving their opinion about the new generation of My Little Pony.
It's
Some were
legitimately
positive,
entertaining.
stated that the show was entertaining and fun for parents and their kids. Others, though, were harder to impress, and some
What?
were just downright insulting. Take
Get this
Catherine
guy
Wilson,
out of here.
writer from
Boo.
his magazine, for example. She wrote an article for her site about MLP called
What? 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 Racist.
My Little
Racist.
Homophobic, Racist,
Racist. Racist.
Smart Shamming Pony. Needless to say, she did not think very highly of the cartoon.
In case you missed it, it's My Little Pony Week on the Mrs. Blog. Having been thoroughly indoctrinated as a child to love ponies, and My Little Pony in particular, much of my understandings of femininity, and heteronormativity, that's a hard word to say, come directly from my childhood interactions with cartoon ponies. Diary excerpt, I love wearing heels, it makes me feel like a pony. Looking back on TV shows like My Little Pony and Princess Guinevere, and the Jewel Riders, shows in which the powerful female... Speaking is hard, reading is very hard. I read on a kindergarten level. Shows in which the powerful female figure was demonized as evil, and the main character was always blonde and blue-eyed, made me think, wow, the old days were so sexist and racist and heteronormative. Thank goodness kids shows aren't like that anymore. But alas, I spoke too soon. Recently, I was fact-checking a missed blog post regarding the sexed-up makeover of various children's toys. In this case, the hallowed My Little Pony franchise from Hasbro, which led me to their website and an introduction to the latest My Little Pony TV show. The first image I saw was this. Give me the first image. Oh my
Thought
god,
to be
please.
Racist, sexist, and had little to no redeeming value with the lessons the show taught. Lauren actually responded to this article.
No! I don't get to see the image. Actually, wait. What website is this? I kind of want to see if I can find it. Hold on a second. Guys, shut up printing. Guys, I found it. I have found it. Also, this is our first time on Google together. Hey, like actually well, this is not our first time on Google together. Actually, I lied, but this is our first time on Google on the laptop. How's it going? First image I saw. Are you serious? You're kidding me. The first image I saw was a blank white screen. Please. Alright, I guess I'll... But then we noticed that there were, indeed, black ponies. Okay. Well, I want to read the rest of this article, actually. I was immediately concerned that the only pony that looked slightly angry or tomboyish was the rainbow pony. Since there's a false stereotype that all feminists are angry, tomboyish, lesbians, it was disconcerting to think that a kid's TV show would uphold this. Man, I should not be reading this. I'm too young for this because I can't even read disconcerting. Yeah, obviously I'm like 5 years old. I watched the video clip, and indeed the rainbow pony stands out as having a perpetually maniacal expression, while the others are cute and cuddly. According to the Meet the Ponies page, which invites viewers to click on a pony to learn about each of their distinct personalities, Rainbow Dash is capable and athletic, lives for adventure, brave and bold, and proves time and time again that she is a true hero. This positive portrayal made me wonder if perhaps the company was not providing a caricature but allowing for a positive account of gender bending, and so I asked for a second opinion. I showed the video to a fellow Miss Intern / blogger Kyle and asked, "What's wrong with this picture?" He responded, "There aren't any black ponies. Why aren't there any brothers on the wall?" I had originally assumed that the purple ponies were supposed to represent black ponies, but he was right. The ponies don't seem to be very racially One of them's purple. One of them's blue. What? I mean, like, all the ponies are different colors. Like, why? But then we noticed that there were indeed black ponies. Yes, the only black ponies in the TV show My Little Pony are slave ponies to the white pony overlord. How can we expect... Which episode is she talking about? Yeah, one that comes to... No, wait, no, actually, though, what is she talking about? Which episode is she talking about? The white... Because, see, what's coming to mind here is Rarity, because, she's like the white one of the, I guess, out of the main, she is literally the color white. But when did she have slaves? Finally, I went looking for an episode of My Little Pony online to further dissect and discovered the following description. "Get your muzzle out of those books and make some friends. That's what Princess Celestia tells Twilight Sparkle. She may be the smartest unicorn in Equestria, but Twilight Sparkle gets an incomplete in friendship. There's more to life than learning magic. After all, she goes to Ponyville on a mission to make friends. There she meets 5 special ponies who take her on exciting adventures and teach her the most powerful magic of all, the magic of friendship." This cheerful description of an authority figure specifically ordering a pony to stop studying so that she can make friends reminds me of the infamous Barbie quote, Guys, math class is tough. Ponyville seems to be a culture that dismisses girls who prefer reading books to playing dress-up and looking... You there, Twilight. I want you to make some friends because you are awfully lonely. You're always being lonely. Studying in your a little lonely state. Go interact. This one person who made the post. All right, so obviously they're saying that girls shouldn't do education. Like, what? No, what? So overall, these are the lessons My Little Pony teaches girls. Magical white ponies are suited for leadership. Black ponies are suited to be... Again, what episode is this from? I have no idea what they're talking about. Stop learning. You will overcome any obstacle by resorting to strength in numbers of friends. You there, friend number 1, help me right now. Open this jar of peanut butter. Girls that wear rainbows are butch? I don't know what that means. You need the government, ideally a monarch, invested with supreme ultimate power and a phallic symbol strapped to her forehead. Really? A phallic symbol strapped to her forehead? It's a horn to tell you what to do with it. What's your take? I think your take is stupid. That is my take. Alright, back to the actual video. That was a long tangent, guys.
Had little to no redeeming value with the lessons the show taught. Lauren actually responded to this article and said that
We're not going to look at the response.
Overanalyzing and assuming way too much. And apparently, Kathleen had never even watched an actual episode of the show. She
What the heck, Kathleen?
based it on a clip and wrote her article from that alone. As Lauren said, give the entire show a chance, and you may be pleasantly surprised. Unlike Kathleen, many other people gave MLP a fair shot and discovered that the cartoon was fantastic. Their expectations were surpassed, and the curse that followed My Little Pony for so long was finally lifted. All of the hard work from Lauren and her team paid off. They brought life to a franchise that was void of creativity. Yet this wasn't the only thing they brought life to. Strangely enough, the majority of the approval for Generation 4 did not come from children or their parents. It was from older teenagers and 20-year-olds.
Pony bro. We all know that
The show was
screenshot.
so well made and entertaining that it ended up being admired by a group of most unexpected fans.
When it first, My Little Pony, when it first started in the 80s, it really was about
Animator,
we're gonna
yes.
hawk this merchandise to kids.
Oh, he's got the
And
derpy
If you
toaster.
watch Friendship
From
is Magic,
Pongaran
you don't
Bovie.
really get that vibe at all. And that's really cool that they felt that they should step up their game and put the effort in when they really didn't have to. It was gonna, the little girls were gonna buy the toys either way.
It's a show about colorful ponies made
Hey, no whacking.
meant for, little girls. And yet
This person did 2 songs that I really, really like and listen to a lot, and they ended up showing on the deleted Pony Songs channel, and so they're not Pony anymore. I'm not gonna say what songs they were. You guys can go find them for yourself, I guess. But no, yeah, this person's like great singing. It just I love their songs.
yet
But I wonder
everyone
when
in this
I
community is watching.
wonder why
It
they
has to
deleted
be
their
something
videos.
really special in order for it to catch this much attention,
Since its creation, the My Little Pony franchise has always had young girls in mind, but that was no longer the case. Generation 4 was able to catch the attention of this unlikely group of older fans.
Being an old school comic
Hey,
book
it's the
cartoon
manliest
guy,
Brody alive.
I was immediately drawn by the animation, which was much better. In fact, I didn't even know it was Flash until someone told me that's Flash. It was Flash, really?
And I know it seems, so many people say, oh, the animation.
Oh,
is great,
you're
but
an
it really
enigma.
is, especially when you consider that this is Flash animation and just the amount of tender loving care that they put into really making these characters emote. And when the characters emote, we care. And when we care, then we get invested. And I think that can be really hard to pull off with that kind of medium.
I was very impressed by the fact that they adopted very realistic movement for the characters into stylized proportions. I was very impressed with how smooth it was, how balanced it was. The animation was fantastic.
The way the characters moved, the emotions, the ability to kind of express so much in terms of storytelling just through.
Yeah, I just
the
got lost in the
characters and
animation
how they're
myself.
interacting before our eyes.
I was initially struck by the animation. I think is what is pretty common. Everyone says, because
Not gonna lie though, what first got me in the show really was the feel, the vibe. Like, I like the animation. I have a strong appreciation for the animation now, but when I was first watching the show, it was just like, it's good animation. To me, it was just animation, because I wasn't like super passionate about animation yet. I was just kind of like, yeah, I like to watch cartoons, So honestly, no, the animation wasn't the one that drew me in. It was mainly the vibe.
You see like when you realize later the people who worked on it, you see the common threads and you go, oh, that's why I like it.
Animation wasn't the show's only strong point, as it had equally excellent storytelling that was appealing to the entire audience.
I don't know, I think mostly it's just the sense of humor and the how clever it is that really keeps me hooked. You know, season 1,
Agreed.
it was just so tight. The dialogue was tight, the character interaction was really just like, everything was just so well groomed and well placed, and it's just so clever. You know, it's not banging you over the head with how funny it's trying to be. It just ends up being funny because it's good.
Guys, look at how hard I'm trying to be funny right now. I'm trying so hard. I'm legitimately trying so dang hard. That was the most unfunny joke I've ever done on the channel. Oh my god.
It looks just like yours.
That nest needs to be condemned.
Oh, Spike. It's not so bad. Maybe the birds can use it as
An outhouse.
When you watch, you get the sense of everyone's having fun.
Hey,
You can get that everyone who makes the show cares. There's quality in it that is part of the show, and it's just, you feel like there's an interaction between you and the show. Especially
everything's just so smoothly
eggs
done.
There, and then when you get to talk to everyone in the community after watching the show, and then you find out all the stuff you missed, all the references and everything. It's there's so much about the show that is so much fun. It's hard to really boil it down to one thing, but I love.
Hey, that's the guy in the store who's buying the Fluttershy.
And the show. It's always fun to see what sort of interesting references they put in there. I think that draws a big audience. I know that I sat my mother down and we watched it at one point, and she caught the Gone with the Wind reference that Rarity makes.
Celestia is my witness. I shall never be sisterless again.
You know, that put a smile on her face. Also, the I Love Lucy little sketch that they did in the last roundup. And
I never read Gone with the Wind.
Like the icing on the top and really make it just such a joy to watch.
The characters in Friendship is Magic were neither shallow nor two-dimensional, but actually had substance to them.
There are lots of very good characters. They're well written and
Hi,
they're
Brony,
diverse.
Mike.
And you can find at least little bits of each of them in yourself.
The characters really appeal to me because they're also likable. Like, they're realistic. Like, I've known people in high school like, oh, Rarity, why you act like that? Oh, Twilight, why you always gotta study? Oh, Applejack, why you always gotta work? I've known people like that, especially Shy One, like Fluttershy. I kind of was like that.
Regardless of the reasons listed, the fact remained. This generation of My Little Pony was genuinely good, and that came as a shock to many of these older viewers.
I babysit kids who saw the G3 thing. That was just brain painful, and like my kids used to watch that and the Princess Promenade. I was just like, what is this? What is this? I will never ever watch this stuff. And then little did I know, when you're like, God, I love this stuff.
Maybe maybe it has a charm that.
I feel that. I gotta have a story like that too, kind of. Like, I was in a movie theater, with my dad, and I don't remember what movie we were watching, but the trailer for the MLP 2017 movie, like the actual trailer, showed up, and I remember being like, I'm never gonna watch that. Yuck. And then, lo and behold, here we are.
Described. Maybe it's better than the sum of its parts. Maybe it's because we have preconceived notions about what My Little Pony is supposed to be, which is to say, a cartoon that does nothing but sell toys. And the fact that we're getting something that's more than that at all is what makes us enjoy it.
It's a good pick-me-up and just kind of helps balance out like the pressures of normal life. You just kind of, every Saturday you get 22 minutes of just like good feeling, and nothing's gonna mess that up.
Despite the show's success, not every person shared the same sentiment for this new series of My Little Pony. There were even some who believed that Friendship is Magic was a sign of decay in the animation industry. Author CartoonBrew.com made this claim in his article that was titled The End of the Creative-Driven Era. Amid said in his review that My Little Pony was an indicator that cartoons were officially on the decline and were selling out in order to make toys and money. That any passion that was left in modern-day cartoons had disappeared.
See, MLP Friendship is Magic was not part of that, but, right now, yeah, things are kind of going downhill for the animation industry right now, like a whole lot.
Due to weak production staffs,
money.
Such wild
What inspired you to make this cartoon the absolute worst garbage that anybody's ever seen in existence? Money.
accusations about the show and cartoons in general really worried some users of a certain website, the Co board from 4chan. All the hype and chatter about this article and the cartoon in question found its way over to Co, where it then became very popular. 4chan, for those who don't know, is a notorious image board website that has been around since 2003. It was created by a fellow named Christopher Moot Poole. The site has over 48 boards with various topics like anime and video games. The site is incredibly popular and has quite the reputation on the internet for being rude, harsh, and raw. When it comes to 4chan, anybody can quite literally say anything, and for the most part not worry about the repercussions, since they appear as anonymous. Some 4chan users have been acknowledged as hackers, and this is semi-true. It isn't too uncommon to see raiding parties on other targeted websites. It's a metaphorical double-edged sword, and one that has been swung towards both extremes. On one end, they have hacked corporate and government websites, and on the other hand, they have tracked down and reported child pornography enthusiasts and producers to the FBI. 4chaners are sporadic. It's quite difficult
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
motives.
Sorry, that was a really
The
long
site has
yawn.
also had quite the impact on internet culture. Many a meme and online joke can be traced back to the image board as the place of origin. This is the case for a lot of familiar internet icons, such as Lolcat, Rickrollin, and
Invisible
in our case,
bite.
My Little Pony. Despite its dark side, 4chan is an extremely impressive website. It is a testament to the power of coordination and the strength of numbers rallied via the internet. The site has left its mark on cyberspace and has earned a spot in the Internet Hall of Fame.
700,000 posts per day.
4chan
Wow.
precedes it and is definitely alive and well today. It can be cruel, it can be harsh, and it can be downright insulting.
Why are people still using 4chan today? I kind of want to check out 4chan, like, right now, just for the funny to see it. But I won't.
Yet this was the playing field for the first batch of fans for My Little Pony. Here, they took their first steps towards becoming an online phenomenon. Co, which is a comic and cartoon board of 4chan, had heard about My Little Pony prior to its premiere. The threads were few in number and only had a handful of users discussing the new generation of ponies. Some had faith in the series, while others dismissed it as another mindless kids show. Expectations were pretty low overall, but when the first episode made its debut on October 10th,
Confound these ponies. They drive me to
Co were
drink.
pleasantly surprised. This generation of My Little Pony was nothing like its previous counterparts. It could actually hold up on its own and was entertaining to watch. More and more people on the board decided to give G4 a chance and ended up liking it.
Damn it!
Over a week
I
following
can't
the
stop.
premiere, Co discovered the article about My Little Pony from Cartoon Brew. Needless to say, the accusations from the writer startled some of the 4chan users. Could this show really be the beginning of the end for cartoons? Is Friendship is Magic just another series that is void of creativity and only cares about selling toys?
No. Shut up, Piggy. I watched this commercial.
The franchise
Like
doesn't
once.
necessarily have the best track record. Yet fans of the show from Co jumped to its defense and claimed that the new My Little Pony was actually well done and was nothing like what the article said. All this hype and fighting though.
Hey, battery's at 10%. See, guys, I know you guys would miss the battery low at 15% on my phone, so we got something better now. We got battery low at 10%. I'm gonna go grab my charger real quick, which is literally like pretty much right next to me, so I'm not gonna pause recording because I don't want to see this stupid printing screen again. Stand by. Just give me a second here. We're almost there. Almost there. And we're good. We're okay. We're in the clear. It is charging.
People who decided to see what the commotion was about and watch the show with their own eyes. And just like the earlier fans on Co, these viewers too liked what they saw. They discovered
Parker, bring me a
My Little
picture
Pony was
of
pretty
ponies.
good. It wasn't just some kids show with an agenda to only sell toys. It had quality, and that earned the attention and admiration of Co. Following Amid's article, My Little Pony threads started to pick up in momentum as thousands of posts poured into 4chan on a daily basis that discussed about the series and the universe surrounding it. This was quite bizarre, even by 4chan standards, but there it was. Older male fans talking about pink ponies. For almost 30 years, the MLP franchise was primarily enjoyed by little girls, but thanks to Co, everything had just drastically changed. This is where the Brony fandom officially got its start as a demographic and group, though they were not referred to as bronies right off the bat. The origin of the word and the initial meaning behind it can be difficult to trace. The one that makes the most sense, and actually has some kind of documentation, is simply a play on the words bro plus pony. This here is the earliest evidence of 4chaners using the word brony, and it just so happened...
October 23rd, 2010. 23rd? October 20... Damn, that's early.
That it stuck.
That's like
in time,
here when the
My
show
Little Pony
started.
and the budding fan base found their way over to the roughest part of 4chan, B, or also known as the random board. Now when it comes to 4chan's notorious reputation, you don't have to look any further than B. The end.
My laptop is Okay, so my laptop is blowing hot air, so yep, that's gonna happen for some YouTube videos. Wonder how that sounds on the
posting
audio.
some of the nastiest stuff on the web, and their attitudes aren't much better. Porn, gore, offensive language, no subject is off limits to this board, as it thrives on its uncensored and disturbing nature. So you could only
Cupcakes?
imagine the look on their faces when adorable pink ponies started to invade their turf by the thousands. Co was overflowing with pony-related threads, and it was only a matter of time until MLP expanded onto the other boards of 4chan. At first, B didn't know how to react to the situation. Some of the users genuinely liked the show, but the majority didn't care for it at all. Yet it was the gradual oversaturation of ponies on their board that led many of them to absolutely hate My Little Pony and its intrusive fans. What started as a trickle turned into a flooding river as My Little Pony content soared in traffic. It got to the point where any legitimate discussions about the show dissolved into mindless macro image threads and spam posts that only antagonized the non-MLP.
Yo, I think this show is actually really clever and really well written. Shut up. Take a pinky. Take a pinky pie to the face.
The opponents of these overzealous bronies would then retaliate by polluting pony threads with perverted content of their own. Both sides went back and forth for a few months as the situation continued to spiral out of control. It finally reached the point where a full-on ban was brought down on any thread that discussed My Little Pony. The mods of 4chan had finally had enough and could no longer deal with the surge of pony content. This ban officially started on February 26, 2011. Unfortunately, this was enforced on every MLP fan, and that also included those who tried to stay
We
out of
salute
the
you,
fight.
bronies.
Nevertheless, all were punished and were no longer allowed to discuss the show on 4chan. Even saying
Damn
the
it.
word pony was against the rules, but in a way, this was a blessing in disguise. The ban created a need for bronies to go out into the web and find a place to call their own. There were already brony sites that
Let's go to MySpace.
existed prior to the bans on 4chan, but none of them were as popular at the time as Co and B were when it came to My Little Pony. This was starting to change though, and the bans actually helped to make this happen. Since users were getting blocked in 4chan, they turned to other places, such as PonyChan, FimFiction, and Equestria.
FimFiction!
These sites were focused around the show
Equestria
and the
Daily.
fandom, and had their arms wide open for fans who wanted to share
And
their
I've
interest
never
in
really
ponies.
go on
Other
EQ
non-pony
Daily.
sites were also seeing an increase in MLP traffic too. Funny Junk, Something Awful, DeviantArt, YouTube. It seemed that no
YouTube.
website was
I'm
safe
on that
from
right
the My
now.
Little Pony phenomenon. Some web pages, like Memebase, even had to make additional sections just to contain all the pony content pouring in. On February 27th, 2011, the brief pony ban was lifted on Co. And on March 1st...
Yo, I should do this before I forget. This video is uploaded by Saperspark, but these are the actual credits. Yeah, a lot of people made this.
For B. There were strict rules put into place to manage the flow of pony-related fans, like keeping
I'll put the
posts
credits at the
about
end of the video.
ponies to one main thread, and to make sure the post actually had something to discuss instead of mindless spam. And on February 17th, 2012, almost a year following the ban, the MLP board was created on 4chan. Mood said that he apologized for the wait, and knew that My Little Pony fans needed their own board from the get-go. Yet at this point, bronies had firmly established websites of their own to call home. Now, despite the drama that occurred, 4chan had played a significant role in the growth of bronies. I mean, heck, without 4chan, Bronies wouldn't even exist, or at least be as successful as they are today. Now their destiny as a fandom was in their own
4chan.
4chan, however, was just one of many conduits for people to discover My Little Pony. Whether it was a YouTube video or a forum post, MLP spread and eventually found its way to the desktop of future Bronies.
Like like right now.
I had seen a couple of reaction pictures on one of the 2 or 3 times I've been to 4chan, and I thought they were cute. I didn't associate them with like a My Little Pony. I just thought
Your head looks full of apples.
funny looking cartoon.
Well, my head is also full of apples.
Joysticks and fighting
Lots of
magic.
apples.
And it was just a really good looking game. Like, it was really professionally done. The animation was great. I'm a big fan of 2D fighters like Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Guilty Gear. And it kind of had that flow, like really good flow, really good animation. It just looked really fun and balanced. Like, wow.
You know, I actually don't know really that much about My Little Pony Fighting is Magic. Like, I don't know who made it. I don't know where it came from. I just know that it exists and it has a couple bangers in its soundtrack. Well, I actually want to see if I can play that game for the channel.
This is pretty amazing.
I might be able to do that now.
People are doing this for a pony, like, franchise. Like, why?
I was browsing the image board of 4chan, and I happened to see some macros and some people linking, like, I guess, beginning of the whole fandom, like PMV stuff, really simple. It just sort of showed up in my RSS feeds. There was this mashup, like a trailer mashup. I think it was the StarCraft 1 or the maybe Pony Effect 2, and it was mashed up with Pony.
We have Zerg attack waves incoming.
What's she after?
Karen.
Finish the job.
So I watched this, and I
Karen.
thought, hey, this is really funny, and it's really well made, and it's well animated. The show. So this got me interested in what is this? What is this? Why does this have so many views? Why is this so well made? So I just started asking myself questions, and I dove into this rabbit hole, and I found out that there's this show called My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
I was interested, but I didn't watch a show from that. I just kind of forgot about it again. Then a month later, I just ordered something random off of eBay, and it came wrapped in My Little Pony wrapping paper, and I was just like, oh yeah, that show, like, it was kind of cool.
Specifically,
It's calling to you.
I've been a fan of that guy with the glasses.com for a while, and a video by CR.
Pinkie Pie in 5 seconds.
And I'd heard a little bit about the show beforehand, but not much.
Pinkie Pie in 5 seconds. Don't look at my recommended. Don't look at my recommended. Stop looking. Stop looking right now. Shut up. Stop looking. Mod Pie in 5 seconds. Is there no Pinkie Pie in 5 seconds? Hold on. There's no Pinkie Pie in 5 seconds.
And it was just a couple of goofy clips of Pinkie Pie being silly, and the comments were all, "Oh, it's a good show," and so I went and watched it.
I was introduced to it from a couple of friends of mine who suddenly, got really interested in it from the beginning. I guess it was about halfway through the season, and the conversations all turned to ponies, and I was not understanding it whatsoever.
I got into the fandom because my friend Brent, he's going to college for animation, and he always knows what's up with good animation and cartoons and stuff. And so he was sending me good stuff. And he sent me My Little Pony episode 1, and I thought it was a joke, so I was like, how funny, Brent, and I didn't watch it. And then...
What? What the heck?
A couple days later, he messaged me, he was like, did you watch it? And I was like, no. He's like, watch it. And I was like, are you serious? Watch it.
Friend,
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. You gotta trust.
Show. Come on, you need to watch this show. I said, what show? Oh, My Little Pony.
A week goes by, I don't watch it, obviously. And I noticed that all my friends, all of my male friends' pictures on Skype are now pony icons. So I was like, all right, you know what, I'll give it a try. And so it caught my eye and it really interested me. So I.
Man, dude, this makes me really wish I was there for the times when the MLP was popping off. I would have been part of that so hard. I would have been like, oh, I would have been popping off as well.
Kept watching, and soon I was hooked.
Really? So, yeah. It's like all our artist friends say, this is great. We're gonna watch it. So, okay, so we sat down, we watched the 2-part premiere, and went, okay, not bad, let's watch some more. So by the time 4 a.m. rolled around, we were through Sonic Rainboom, and we were hooked.
So they sent me videos, they
That's how
sent
it
me
goes.
all manner of pony media in order to try and convert me and have me defect to the pony side. And so I decided to sit down with it. I watched 1 episode, 2 episodes, 5 episodes, and before you knew it, I was hooked. Can't even say that I rationalized it. It just sort of happened.
It just intrigued me because I started looking at clips on YouTube and I saw like Sweet Belle singing Fluttershy's song from the Stairmaster episode. I was like, there's something going on here. This intrigues me, and I'm sort of I sort of naturally gravitate towards things that are just sort of kind of weird, kind of offbeat, and I just this looks like something really amazing. So I just started watching the episodes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 26 in like 3 days. And I was just
3 days.
I was
Whoa.
entirely all, it's
I don't think I did
I don't know
that.
if I can like this. But then the song in Winter Wrap Up, that was the first moment where I had to actually pause it and go back, because out of nowhere this impromptu fantastic musical number comes up.
Hey, we don't do that right now. I really want to listen to it though.
I don't know. There was just a revelation, because I said I picked it up. I started watching episode after episode, and even halfway through the season, I was still a little skeptical. I didn't quite understand the phenomena. I thought, okay, it's a good show, but believe it or not, it was actually my favorite episode, Party of One, and for some reason,
you killed my
down. Just like, I love the way it was animated. I love the way it was scripted. Everything about, and to me, the quality of it was tremendous. And that's when I started to get like, there is something to this show.
I'm having a delightful time as well. I'm so glad, Sir Lancelot. Anything for you, Madame Laflower.
I'm just
I want to eat the cake.
showed up.
Oh, they're not so bad.
And I just got a big kick out of like the whole fact that they were mashing like things that were these colorful equine horses with like Watchmen. Well, that was me eventually, but like just weird trailers and things like that. And I thought it was like funny to take some like dark themed things and mesh it with like this really lighthearted child show.
My father was a drinker and a fiend. And one night, he goes off crazier than usual. Mommy gets the kitchen.
This is good stuff right here.
Herself. He doesn't like that. Not one bit.
See, I love stuff like this.
Me watching, he takes the knife to her, laughing while he does it. He turns to me and he says, "Why so serious?"
And I asked him, what's this?
Why
about?
so
he sends me a link to
serious?
the pilot episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic off of YouTube, and a link to the fanfiction Cupcakes. So,
oh,
he
Cupcakes.
basically said, have fun, and didn't talk to me again.
It wasn't until like a couple weeks after that that my
fun.
sister was like, "Have you heard this like Cupcakes thing? My friend keeps sending it to me." And so I
And
read
so
Cupcakes, and I'm just like, this is
Cupcakes
bizarre.
comes into
Now,
the
I just,
picture.
for some reason, that inspired me to go back and like watch the whole thing. Because like, if someone can like write something this like ridiculous, like I got to give it another shot. And third time was a charm. I just got totally addicted, and in like I think 3 days, I just powered through everything.
And then I started watching online, and I found out that other people love this as well. And there was like hundreds and thousands of them. So okay, this is really interesting. Something is going on here. And so at some point, I just made this conscious decision. I want to see what this is all about, and where this is all gonna go. So I just thought I'm gonna step into this fandom, and I'm gonna be a part of this, and see where this will take me. And now I'm here giving an interview about it.
Nice.
From amid in his article.
Alright, shut up, Super Spark. I'm gonna give a little bit of insight into my personal Brony story, how I became a Brony. It was a cold, dark, and stormy night. It was 10 p.m. and I was pretty much just bored. I was wanting a new cartoon show to watch because I just recently finished. I believe I just recently finished binging some cartoon. I don't remember which one it was, and I'm just like, well, I want another cartoon to watch. So some reason, just out of nowhere, the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic show comes into mind, and I don't know what prompted it. I like over like the literal like 16 years of my life, I have not once thought of. Well, that's a lie. I thought about it, like a couple times. Like there was like been like 2 times where I actually like legitimately thought about like My Little Pony. Like I literally knew nothing about it. Not even like the name. I don't even think I knew the names of any of the characters. I just knew that it was a show that existed, and I was just like, what if I watched My Little Pony? Wouldn't that be interesting? So I messaged my friends. I messaged 2 of my friends, a whole grand 2 of them. Yeah, that's a lot, I know. And I'm like, hey, how do I watch My Little Pony online? Because I didn't want to watch it on the TV, of course, My parents walk in and be like, doop, 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 doop. Oh my goodness! Like, I didn't want that as a little 16-year-old me. So I'm just like, hey, how can I pirate? How can I be a Saily Sea Sailor? They didn't know, but they were just like, hey, My Little Pony? That's a good show right there. That's a banger show. And I'm just like, it is? Okay, well, now I gotta check it out. I checked it out, and immediately, once the intro started, I'm just like, dude, why is this intro song a banger? And then I watched the 2 episodes. I'm like, okay, that actually wasn't that bad. Let me watch the 3rd episode. And then it just kept going on from there. It kept going on from there. And like everybody else, I became hooked. And just, it does it to you. It just sneaks up to you. It just grabs you in.
To the Pony Wars on 4chan. All of this commotion brought new people into the fandom. Spring 2011 basically marks the first growth spurt for Bronies, though this increase in fans brought a change. After the Flame Wars ended on Co and B, a good chunk of Bronies sincerely believed in this philosophy of being open-minded and loving, and took phrases such as love and tolerate to heart. Many of these new Bronies weren't around for the events on 4chan and got their start elsewhere. They didn't
They love me or tolerate
the philosophy
me.
they were adopting was actually a course used by spammers to antagonize critics. Yet this wave of fans and their excitement misunderstood the inside jokes from 4chan and turned love and tolerate into a mantra that has stuck with the fandom ever since. Although not every fan of My Little Pony shares his point of view, My Little Pony itself also played a role in this shift in direction. Some say that this is due to the lessons from the show and how they rubbed off on Bronies. The morals weren't two-dimensional, and instead had profound characters having real problems and finding real solutions that might require them to face their fears or swallow their pride. Storytelling on this level was so well done that kids and parents could actually take something away from it, and that was the case for older fans too. Yet it's strange to look back at 4chan as the cradle for this fan base. The site itself is no stranger to memes and subcultures, but one so opposite of its attitude.
Smiles, life is beautiful. Oh, I love that picture.
With a leader who had vision,
Love
My
that
Little
image.
Pony was able to make a huge splash on the web and was very well received in television too. From early 2011 and on, the fan base grew rapidly. My Little Pony began to spread to different sites, and people from all over the web started to hear about this group of older fans associated with it. Today, we stand among Bronies in their fruition. A very healthy and numerous fandom now exists that is quite unique and unlike anything else. The irony itself
Sunshine
is
and
almost too
Sailor's
much. I mean, older guys liking My Little Pony? Sounds like a bad joke. But this is the reality of the situation, and it continues to even grow more bizarre. Not only would these people watch the show, they would celebrate it. There was an influx of fan-made content that flooded the web alongside My Little Pony. Fans started to take their creativity to a much higher level, as the internet bore witness to Brony's songs, art, and animation.
I know that song. Just fine. I know that song. That's in one of my playlists.
That soon made rounds across the fan base. And in fall of 2011, Season 2 for My Little Pony began, and with it came a flood of new fans for the show.
Just
Timing was
fine.
impeccable, since the hype for Brownies and My Little Pony was reaching many people on the web. So when the second season started, all of the old fans and the new ones converged at once, and the fan base went through an enormous growth spurt that was much larger than the one that happened in spring earlier that year. Another increase also occurred in late April of 2012 with the Season 2 finale for My Little Pony. These 3 moments in time marked the major spikes in growth for the Brony fandom. There hasn't been a huge increase since the finale for Season 2, but there have been semi-large inclines, such as the beginning of Season 3. But how many...
And there definitely has not been another increase since the show ended.
Other fans can there be statistically? It's hard to say. The majority of bronies watch the show online, and that is difficult to decipher as far as numbers go. There could be over 5 million bronies, or maybe just a few 100,000. No one can be 100% sure, but they have made their presence known. It's been a long and unexpected journey for My Little Pony, one that led to an unpredictable yet astonishing turn of events. Lauren's vision for Generation 4 raises the My Little Pony franchise to a new level of entertainment that is fun to watch, yet doesn't pander to its broad audience. But at the end of Season 2, Lauren resigned from Friendship is Magic and passed the torch of creative control to the capable and talented Megan McCarthy as the new story editor for the show. Regardless of this change of command, the majority of the staff remain and continue to dedicate the same effort that they put forth in the previous seasons of My Little Pony.
And the show
Despite
just
the
kept
history
getting better.
that's been covered so far, the question still remains and begs to be asked. Why? Why would such a dedicated community pop up around such a bizarre topic and sincerely latch onto it to this degree? There isn't an easy answer, but it most likely comes down to two main factors: timing and passion. Timing because the hype and chatter for the show
Passion's all you
happened
need.
at the perfect moment. 10 years ago, none of this would have been possible. The World Wide Web was not advanced enough at the time. But in 2010, the internet was more than capable to accommodate this rapidly growing fan base, provide the means for it to go viral, and passion, because the individuals who worked on My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, overflowed with it. And that same passion was absorbed by their unorthodox fans and fueled the flames of growth on the internet. Lauren and her team were the key to unlocking not only the
Create.
potential of
You
the
must
Pony
do it.
franchise, but of thousands of others around the world. Inspiration was kindled, and artists unaware had found themselves not only creating, but sharing their work with a fandom that celebrates creativity, and also ponies. But this will be covered in part 2 of our documentary. There we will take a closer look into the
Part 2, which I will be watching 2 years from now because it came out 2 years after this one.
colorful, creative-driven world of the Brony.
Just celery stalks. Sunshine and celery stalks, what can I say? What can I say except you're welcome? Thank you. Hey, but there's still like 3 minutes. Oh, that's a lot of credits. Oh, I know this one too. This is Pinkie Pie Swear. I also have this on my playlist. Alright, well, here are the credits. Stephen Carver. Actually never knew Saber's real name. Alright, so that was the Brony Chronicles. So yeah. It's pretty cool, honestly. You know me, I gotta go in a spiel about MLP and life in general, and, you know, God. No, it's stuff like this, like, the amount of effort, passion, and love, like, that goes into stuff like this, just like a documentary. Well, I don't want to say just a documentary, like, this is a really cool documentary, but stuff like this, it reminds you why My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is such a special thing. Like, there is no possible way to really quantify, to really explain, to understand why it's such a special thing. But you feel it. You feel it so much in your soul, your heart, your body. It meshes so well with you. It's perfection. I want to say more things, but I don't know. I do kind of wish, though, that I did get to start rewatching the show on July 13th, because with the other ones, with the other 2 previous Brony birthdays, I spent the whole day, watching a whole bunch of MLP stuff, and rewatching MLP, that, like, I had some feelings to go off of, for the ending speech, but this one is just, this one feels like uncertain, you know? Because whenever another year passes by of me being a Brony, like, I've been a Brony for 3 years now. Like, that's crazy to think about, but every single time a new year goes by, there's, like, this weird uncertainty of, well, what happens next? You know? Is something, like, am I gonna end up, you know, not liking MLP anymore? Am I just gonna, like, leave the fandom? Am I gonna stop doing YouTube? Am I gonna stop writing fan fiction for the series? Am I just gonna leave it behind and never go back? Like, this is stuff I always question whenever a new year passes by. But, like, whenever I start rewatching the show... Wait, no. Wait, wrong way around. Shoot. Brain stopped working. I've never heard this part of the song. It's a nice part of the song. And yeah, but anyway, I feel that feeling right now. I feel that feeling of uncertainty. And there's a little bit of, like, I wouldn't say fear, a little bit of, like, I guess nervousness. You know, to quote Pinkie Pie, nervous-sighted. You're nervous-sighted. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen. But I feel like, though, when I start rewatching the show again, it'll be goodness. Because, to get real with y'all for a second, my life has kind of been, as of late. It's like, put it lightly, really lightly, comedically lightly. You know, things have been kind of changing, and while some of it's good, there's a good portion of it that is bad, and it's been a little tough for me as of late. But moving past that, I'm excited to rewatch the show, because it's gonna feel like going back to a simpler time. It gives you just that feeling of consistent comfort, that no matter what changes, no matter what's going in your life, the show is always there. The show is always there for you. There's nothing that's gonna change about it. It's the show. It's what you've come to love, and it's what you will continue to love. And like I just said, nothing can change that. And I think that's great. I think that's beautiful. Yeah. I gotta end it on something funny, though. You know me. I gotta end it on something funny.
I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm in love, I'm confused,
Whoa!
I'm frustrated, I'm torn, I'm weak, I'm emotionally distraught by the turn of events that has been bestowed upon me.
Oh Jesus, aren't you Darth Vader yet?
You know, that was actually 16 seconds.